Hello everyone. Now we are going to discuss about structures. Before we discussed about structures, let me explain what is meant by an array. We have already discussed about array concept. What is the reason behind discussing about array concept? In the sense, it is a collection of elements of a same data type, which means if I want to have a number of elements of integer number, I can have the elements of floating point number, or I can have the elements of string values, or otherwise called as character values. If I want to use a collection of integer number, in the sense I have to declare integer of array of 5. Sometimes I may have to use a float of array of 10, or otherwise a character of array of 5. So like that I can declare it. So how to use all these data types in a single entity, which means I have to use a database which needs to have which must have integer values, character values, as well as floating point values. In such situations, I have to use array structure concept. I cannot use the array concept, because for integer I have to declare separately, for character I have to declare separately, for floating point I have to declare separately in terms of array concept. But in structures, I can use all these data items in a single entity. Let's discuss when we are discussing about the example. For example, I am going to maintain a student database. Student database in the sense, what are all the informations I am going to use it. First one, your register number. Next one, what is your name. Third one, what is the average percentage of marks you have scored. These three details I am going to do it. Okay, so look at the details. First one, register number. It is an integer value. The next one, your name. Name in the sense it should be a character value or string number. The next one, average percentage value, which means it will be in floating point number, 83.5, 7.36, 8.74, like that. The CGPA numbers will be there. So in such cases we have to use the structures. So let's discuss this, how to group together a collection of data items of different types that are logically related to a particular entity. So the answer should be structure. Here is the definition. A structure is a collection of elements, variables of different data types under a single name. Single name in the sense variable name. We are using a of 5. Is it? A is the name of the array. Like that, single name in the sense name of the structure. Let's discuss when we are discussing about the example. The variables are called, let me repeat again. A structure is a collection of variables of different data types under a single name. Here the variables are called as members of the structure. This will also be discussed. It is also called as a user defined data type. Like functions, it is also a user defined data type. User defined in the sense the user will define by itself. Let us have a syntax on this. Before that, we'll see what is that. The first and foremost thing is you have to start with struct. It is a keyword. It is a keyword. You have to start with struct. And the next one is structure name. You can have any name. Then open parenthesis, data types, data type, member variable 1, data type, another member variable. Like that we can have many number of things. The items which are specified in between the braces are called as members of a structure. We have discussed previously. Here it is. The variables are called as members of the structure. Then we have to close the brace. After that we have to put the semicolon. Okay. Here the structure name is optional one. We can use, we can, if we want we can use it, or else we don't need it. It is not a big issue. but we have to use the keyword struct. Once a structure name is declared as a new data type, then the variables of the type can be declared as struct. Struct in the sense this one. This is called a structure definition, and here we are going to declare structure declaration. Struct structure name, then structure variable. Structure variable in the sense student1, student2, student3, like that. There is a note. The members of a structure do not occupy the memory until they are associated with the structure variable. Yes, it is. We will discuss it later. But what is the meaning in the sense? Here I have declared data type member variable 1, data type member variable 2, data type member variable 3. Let us data type member variable, which means integer register number. The next one, character name of 20, float percentage. So integer will occupy 2 bytes of memory, character will occupy 1 byte, but here 20 elements, so 20 alphabets we can store it. And the next one is float. Float in the sense will occupy 2 bytes. So 2 bytes plus 20 bytes plus 1 byte, which means 2 plus 20 plus 4. So 26 bytes of memory space will be there. If I am declaring student1 in the sense, it will allocate 26 amount of memory space. If I declare one more variable student2 in the sense, it will declare another 26 bytes of memory. Like that it will allocate it. If you don't specify the structure variable, the memory is not going to be utilized. That is the meaning on this. We'll discuss it later again and again. Here's the example. What we discussed previously. Here is the example on this. Let us start with struct keyword. Here is the structure name. The very first one is character of name of 20. The first member of the structure is character declaration, and you can have the name. The name should be 20 alphabets. I can write the name of 20 alphabets. The next one is roll number. The next one is marks. The next one is again character gender, male or female. The next one is long int phone number. Then close parenthesis, then semicolon. Here the structure definition is over. Next we are declaring struct student st, which means struct is keyword. Here is the structure name. Then here is the variable name, structure variable name. This is structure name. This is structure variable name st. Only one variable is declared. Likewise, we can declare any number of structure variables. Multiple variables of struct student type can be declared as struct student, student1, student2, student3, then semicolon, which means student1 contains these all details. Student2 will also contain these all details, and student3 will also contain these all details like name, roll number, marks, gender, and then phone number. So this is how you are accessing. Okay, so once you declare a structure variable, we can access these members of the variable by specifying the structure variable. That's it. So next one is we have declared about. Next one is we have completed the syntax on this and then example. The next one is how to define a structure. What is meant by defining a structure? Defining a structure in the sense this portion. This portion is called as defining structure definition. Each variable of the structure has its own copy of member variable. We have discussed the member variables are accessed by using a dot operator or member operator. The dot is called as member operator. What is the meaning on this? For example, st1.name is a member variable name of student1 structure variable, while student3 dot gender is a member variable gender of st3 structure variable. Let me explain. In this example, we have name, roll number, marks, gender and phone number as members of the structure, and st1 and st2 and st3 are the structure variables of the structure. So how to access each and every members of the structure? We have to use the dot operator, or otherwise called as member operator. So how to specify? Before the member operator, we have to use the structure variable st1 dot. After the member variable, we have to use the member of the structure. Member of the structure in the sense I can use either name or roll number or marks or gender or phone number. That's it. So this is how your definition as well as accessing. Here it is. So for example, what is the roll number of student 2? What is the roll number of student 2? So to access the roll number of the student 2, how do I write in the sense st2 dot roll underscore number? So I should put the member operator. Before that, whose data you needed? I need student 2. After the dot member operator, which detail you needed? I need a roll number. So second, student 2's roll number is needed. So student 2 dot roll number. Another example, what is the gender of student 3? Which means st3 dot gender. What is the name of the first student? st1 dot name. So this is how you can access the each and every members of the structure. We can have another kind of defining. First and foremost thing is already we have discussed. The structure definition and the variable declaration can be combined as the definition as well as declaration can be written in a short form. How can we write it in the sense? Struct name of the keyword, and here is the structure name, name of the student, roll number, mark, gender, login, phone number, close the brace, then semicolon. This is what we have discussed previously. Instead, I can write the structure variables after completing the closing brace also. So after completing the closing brace, st1, st2, st3, then semicolon, which means there are 3 different students. These 3 different students details are to be defined with the details of name, roll number, marks, gender and then phone number. That is the meaning on this. What is another kind of things? Here we are going to repeat the same. The only difference is we don't need to use the student as a compulsory one. The use of structure name is also an optional thing. So that's all we have. Next thing is the continuation will be discussed in the next video. Thank you.